Here's another option on calculating what your x-intercept. Remember my function is what? Is f of x, which is equals to 2 over 3 to the power of what? To the power of x minus 1. Remember, I need to calculate what? The x-intercept, where we see y, we substitute what? 0. This is going to be 0, which is equals to 2 over 3 to the power of x minus 1. Let's find that x value, whereby if I substitute that x value here, it will be what? It will be 1, so that 1 minus 1 will be equals to what? Will be equals to 0. Remember, from secondary, we know, from primary, we know that any number to the power of 0 is equals to what? Is equals to 1. Meaning, my friend, if I say to me 2 over 3 to the power of 0 minus 1, what is 2 over 3 to the power of 0? 2 over 3 to the power of 0 will always be equals to 1, because any number to the power of 0 is equals to 1. Minus 1. This is going to be what? 0. It means my x value in this function, whereby y is equals to 0, will be what? Will be 0. Hence, I have what? 0 and 0. Now, remember, for calculating the y-intercept, y is equals to 2 over 3 to the power of what? X minus 1. Where I see x, I substitute what? 0 to calculate my y-intercept. Meaning I will have y, which is equals to 2 over 3 to the power of 0 minus 1. This is equals to 1 minus 1, which is equals to what? 0. It means also my y-intercept is what? Is 0 and 0. Let's go to the next question. Now, let's analyze our graph. Why is our graph like this? Check, let's write the equation of my graph. F of x is equals to 2 to the power of 3, 2 over 3, to the power of x minus 1. Let's check for all the positive x values. For all the positive x values, it means the x that I'm going to substitute here must be positive. This is the same as saying what? We have 2 to the power of x divided by 3 to the power of x minus 1. We can see that on this component, my numerator will always be less than my what? My denominator. Meaning this component will always be what? This component of 2 to the power of x over 3 to the power of x will always be less than what? Less than 1. Meaning if I say 2 to the power of x over 3 to the power of x minus 1, I will get what? I will get the negative value, since 2 to the power of x over 3 to the power of x minus 1 is less than what? Is less than 0. Hence, for all the positive x values in my function, my graph lies here. Why does it tend like this? We said that this is an asymptote. It bounds my what? My function below. Meaning it will never, all my y values will never be what? Will never be equals to -1 or less than -1. Hence it tends like this. Automatically we can see that for all the positive what? For all the negative x values here, this component will always be greater than 1. Meaning when you say this component minus 1, it will always be greater than 0. Hence you see that for all the positive what? For all the positive x, for all the negative x values, sorry for that, my function will always be what? My function will always be greater than 0. Meaning all the y values will always be greater than 0. But on my positive y values, I have no asymptote that bounds my function above. Now let's go to the last question. We are on the last question. Let's see the statement that they gave us. It says it is further given that C is a point on F at y is equals to 19 over 8. What do we mean by saying a point on F? Meaning C is a coordinate having x and y. We are already given our y value, which is equals to y is equals to 19 over what? 8. The question is, determine the coordinates of C prime, the image of C when C is reflected about the line y is equals to what? Y is equals to x. Meaning, my friend, let's check this statement. When C is reflected about the line y is equals to what? Y is equals to x. Meaning my x become my y become my x. For example, if I'm given coordinates, let's say I'm given point A on my function. My point A is what? Has 2 and 3. And then they say they reflect our function on y is equals to x. We said x become y and y become x. Meaning the image of A when f is reflected about the line y is equals to x, this will be what? This will be 3 and what? And 2. So it is automatically, my friend, that we need to calculate what? We need to calculate the x value of C, as we are already given what? The y value, and then what? Swap my coordinates, because our function was reflected on the line y is equals to what? X. Now, let's remember our function is what? My function was f of x, which is equals to 2 over 3 to the power of x minus 1. Remember, I have what? I have the corresponding y value, which is equals to 19 over 8. Meaning, where I see y, I substitute 19 over 8 and calculate the value of what? Calculate the value of x. It means I have what? I have 19 over 8, which is equals to 2 over what? 3 to the power of x minus 1. I'm going to take this minus 1 to this other side. It will be 19 over 8 plus 1, because everything that jumps the equal sign changes the sign, is equals to 2 over 3 to the power of what? To the power of x. What is 19 over 8 plus 1? Let's double check that using the calculator. 19 over 8 plus 1 is the same as what? 27 over 8. Meaning I have what? Sorry for that. I have 27 over 8 is equals to 2 over 3 to the power of x. When it comes to these situations, I always introduce log in order to solve for x. Remember, the aim is to make x subject of the formula. I will introduce what? The log to bring down my exponent. But what you do on the left hand side, you also do it on the right hand side. Meaning this will be what? This will be log of what? Of 27 over 8, which is equals to log of what? Of 2 over 3 to the power of x. But we said introducing the log, the aim of introducing the log is to bring down the exponent x and make x subject of the formula. It means, my friend, I will have log of what? Log of 27 over 8, which is equals to x, log of what? Log of 2 over 3. This is the same as what? Remember, we need to solve for x. I'm going to divide both sides by what? By log of what? 2 over 3. Divided by log of what? 2 over 3. This is the same as x is equals to log of what? 27 over 8, which is equals to log of, divided by log of 2 over 3. Then this is equals to, let's double check that using the calculator. We have what? We have log of 27 over 8 divided by log of what? 2 over 3. This is equals to minus 3. It means, my friend, the C, point C is what? Point C is the same as what? What is my x value? Is minus 3, and my y value is 19 over 8. But remember, the question says to us we must find C prime, which is the image of what? Of C, when my function is reflected about the line y is equals to what? X. We said all we need to do is to swap the coordinates. Meaning here, my x will become my y will become my x. This is going to be 19 over 8 C prime, which is a negative 3. We are done with